just antiques. I don't think so. I have this problem of I have Sometimer's disease. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. We didn't have stop signs.
Mountains, valleys.
Howdy folks, my name is Patricia Ann Ownby. I've lived here since 1945, kind of an old timer, just filling in on some history of the old buildings around and about. Behind me is Henry Reed's cabin. He lived there many years as a bachelor.
Here on this mountain.
My sister married a West, which is an old timer here. They came in covered wagons. My stepfather and his family all came over here in covered wagons. He was born actually on the trail.
Rocky Mountain Man, and I'm your Colorado girl.
This is where I was raised, my parents' home. My husband and I, when we got married, we moved and bought it from them, and they moved to the house to the right of me.
And you need me.
This is my parents' house, and this is where they moved after we bought the house that I grew up in. My husband and I moved out here in 1977 with our 3 children. We built this house from the foundation up. We cut our own aspen logs and planed them, and this is what the house is built out of, is red spruce and aspen. Part of living out in this country, as I have found and brought up more or less pioneer times, we used to haul our own water up out of a well. If you wanted running water, you grabbed 2 5-gallon buckets and ran up the hill. Otherwise, there's chickens to be fed, the horse to be fed, have cattle and sheep, and have had pigs, dairy goats, and all of it, of course, is just normal animal stuff that you have to feed and water and take care of and doctor. I do most of my own veterinarian. I go out in the woods with my steel chainsaw and cut my own wood, and I have a wood spreader at home. Pretty much I live pioneer. This is my garden spot. It's not quite a 1/4 of an acre, but by the time I get it planted, it feels like it. I raise lettuce, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, beets, radishes, onions, peas. All of that does very well at this altitude, which happens to be at 9,000 feet. About the only thing that's not growable up here long enough season is your tomatoes, cucumbers, and corn. Otherwise, pretty self-sufficient. This is where all the food that you can and preserve and potatoes and everything goes in here to stay for the winter. It never gets below freezing. The canning is mostly fruit and some vegetables. The vegetables I usually freeze, and I have 2 big freezers, one with meat and one with vegetables. The empty jars are ready to be filled again. There is tomatoes, green beans, peaches, apricots, cherries, apples, all kinds of juices. There are peaches, preserved in the pressure cooker.
Is washed clean.
This is the dance hall, many, many years old. It probably was built back in the 1800s. People used to come on horses and buggies from all around. They had dances here once a week. Some pretty wild drunken parties that went on here. Some of the guys were so drunk they'd ride their horses backwards and then tell somebody that they knew where they were going.
Wake up, it's the morning. Think about the day.
This is our store sign that when we open business after the other stores burned. And it's Frank's Service, groceries at 3 beer, filled up 66 gas.
Acting the same way.
Yeah, just random antiques. pool table. When we used to have dances in here, there was a pole sitting here in the middle. My dad used to play here. My husband has also played here. John Wayne and Humphrey Bogart was here at once upon a time.
Makes me stay with you. Outside the mountains start to cry. I guess they have their reasons. Ooh, still I stay. These damn distractions drive me crazy.
This is where they have the annual 4th of July chicken fly. Bill Sue runs it. He's kind of getting to be an old timer around here. They take the chickens up there on the top of the platform there, and they have mailbox. And they put the chicken in the mailbox, and then with a toilet plunger, they push the chicken out. And it's not cruel because a chicken is a bird and they do fly. This is the original teacherage where teachers lived when they were teaching school here. We had a 1st through 12th grade, one teacher for all 12 grades. When I was going to school here, there was 13 people lived in Guffey, and we were all related. Children ride from anywhere from 15 to 18 miles into school, and then they would ride home at night. The original Guffey grocery store, Agnes Miller Jack Day, she had several names, ran it, and it burned. And when it burned, there was the post office and everything was in here. And then when this burned down, she built another store across the street, and that burned in 1959 on the 4th of July. This is Lula Keltner. She's been dead many years. She had a homestead out on what we call Belfour Flats. Very hard living. Eventually moved into Guffey, but in the meantime she got tired of her boyfriend, and he went into Hartselle after coffee and everything because they were out of everything, and he had to snowshoe in many miles. And when he got there, he brought everything back to her, but I don't know what exactly happened, but she ended up killing him and kept him in the cold storage unit till spring. Then she took his body out on the prairie, and the prairie dog poisoners found the body, which they'd been over that area many times, and the body was not there previous to that. But nobody could actually ever prove that she did kill him. The library and the community center here is relatively new. They have got a recreational area in the community center. The library has a very good selection of books. That was the first original house in Guffey, the very first one built probably in the 1870s maybe. The Guffey Fire Department is randomly new. It's all volunteer. They do have a lot of stuff going on up there. They're pretty good about responding to fires. They're there on call, and like I said, it's all volunteer.
You said you were a Rocky Mountain girl, and that you would never leave, but now you're down in Tennessee, where the living is easy, and you can get yourself a mani and a pedi, and your hair done perfectly. Oh, but he's not that kind of guy. He just needs a woman by his side, keeping him warm at night. It takes a special kind of woman.